Welcome to Film Study, an All American Universe podcast, because this is for homecoming. I hope that you enjoyed me and Jaretta talking about episode 202, No Love. Here are our predictions for episode 203, Me, Myself, and I. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, rate the podcast 5 stars if you listen on Apple Podcasts, if you listen on Spotify, wherever you listen. But yeah, hope that you enjoy it and let us know your thoughts. The episode is titled Me, Myself, and I, and they're going on a week break, so there is no episode on October 31st. The next episode is October 24th. There is no episode on October 31st. It'll be back on November 7th, I think is the date. Um, but yeah, Me, Myself, and I, balancing act. Simone shows a different side of herself that does not go unnoticed as she reclaims her power on and off the court. But she must decide if that is the best strategy. Damon's determination to ignore his unresolved relationship with Jesse leads to conflict and an uncertainty within the team. Cam has an unexpected visitor who will challenge him on his decision to pursue music, leaving Cam to turn to Keisha for support. As Amara settles into her new job, she receives an anonymous critique, making her realize that she needs to sacrifice something important to her. Meanwhile, JR and Nate find themselves revisiting the past, but each has a different outcome. Christine Swanson directed, which shout out to Christine Swanson. We love Black women directors. Always gonna shout out Christine Swanson. And Allison McKenzie wrote it. Um, yeah, what you think? What you think? What you think? What do you got for since we just ended on JR and Nate a little bit. What do you think they're getting themselves into?
Well, Nate about to have a bae,
Boom.
and and Jr. gonna do something. I don't know. Hopefully, it'll be involving his ex girlfriend,
I
letting
was
him know he's
literally gonna
different.
say, yeah, I was gonna say we know that Nate is about to have her boo coming out next week, and I was just like, now would be the perfect opportunity to have Nate have that have JR have that conversation with his ex-girlfriend who he thought cheated on him, because that
Right.
was like crazy. And they really they need to resolve that, I think. Expeditiously. Expeditiously.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna say hopefully JR is having a productive conversation where he apologizes to his ex-girlfriend, and then we're gonna see Nate struggle with, I think, we always see Nate in this very empowering in who she is. Um but as we know, identity, gender identity, sexuality, that's a spectrum. And so are the people that she's dating, do they view it in the same way that she does? And I think that's what they're going to start to explore, which I'm very here for.
Yes.
So yeah. So that's them. What do you think about Amara and this anonymous critique, and what do you think it's going to be a sacrifice for her?
First of all, I think the critique is from Miss Hayden Robinette, but
Yes.
I feel like what she gonna have to sacrifice is she might have to sacrifice the family dinners at least for a little while, because if they start whispering, doing some little whispers, she might have to step back.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. At first, when I first saw this, I was just like, oh, maybe it's something with her school, with her classes, but we haven't seen her in classes, so I don't think it's that. And so I think you're right. It's like, hopefully, it's something with her family dinners that she has to sacrifice. So I'm with you on that. Um, Cam and Keisha again, sharing storylines again. I just like, okay, I just need them to like, they know other people, right? Like, we could have them come back together. We don't always need them to be in the same storyline. If they can still have scenes together. I just want to see them in different storylines with other people. And to be fair, Cam is getting a storyline with another person. So it's just that he's going to Keisha for support, but I think the person is going to end up being like a family member who tells him not to pursue music, which is odd because isn't his family the musical geniuses anyway?
I don't even know, but I definitely think it's a parent or sibling or something. I don't even know he got siblings.
Right. Yeah, he was just like, my whole family is very musical. So, I don't know. Maybe they're just like, we know this life is rough and we don't want you to go down that same road. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be something
I
like
could see that.
that. But yeah, we'll see, and we'll see how Keisha supports him. Um and maybe, she can offer a lot, on that real quick. She can offer a lot to him in that regard because she had that whole thing last season with her dad, which, by the way, are we getting him back? Like,
I don't
Zeke, you need to
know,
come
Mr.
back.
John.
Zeke, you need to come back and get your girl Amara, get your woman Amara. I have not let that go, so we need to see you back, sir. Um, honestly, unresolved relationship with Jesse. I don't think Damon owes Jesse a relationship, and I would feel very weird. Even the way in which, like, Marcus was describing it to the other coach when he was just like, "Oh, you wanted to, like, make peace with your dad and everything like that," and I'm just like, I feel like this is entirely too soon for Damon to be making peace with Jesse, and I don't think it's going to be resolved in this episode. But even the fact that they're starting to bring this in episode 3, given how fresh and new everything is still, I'm not here for it. I don't want to see uh Damon work on resolving things with his dad. I think Damon still needs to sit with his feelings a little bit longer and maybe talk to someone else, maybe go to therapy, maybe, let's see his mom again. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I definitely want him to feel his feelings, but I also think that he needs to find some type of common ground just because that's still going to be his coach for a little while, and I don't want it to affect his game while we're dealing with Jesse and his foolishness. Like, we know he a deadbeat dad, but he still got to be coach for now. So till we can get somebody else in there, he got to figure out something because he can't be blowing up at him every chance that he get.
You're right. That's correct. You're
Like,
honestly,
shrink him and move on.
yeah, honestly, you're absolutely right about that. I just don't like the man, but you're right. You're right. He can't be blowing up at him every single game. So hopefully they do find a little bit of a common ground. Maybe the little way that they pitch will come back up, because that was one of the initial little hints that we got. Um, Simone shows a different side of her. Obviously, we left off and she was just like, "I'm coming for y'all next." So, and we got in the trailer where it's like maybe she's in her mean girl era, not letting Lando sit down. Lando
But she
mentioned something about a
tripping.
mean girl, huh?
She is tripping with that because Lando can sit down by me. He can sit on me. He can do
Exactly.
whatever he want to do. So
Please,
like,
you say he can sit on me. He could sit on my face. No,
I
please.
can't.
Please, but yeah, she was tripping with that, and but here's the thing: I'm here for it because I need Simone and Lando to get, like, I am here for Simone and Lando more than I'm here for Simone and Jr.
Yes,
Like, I need a little get you back, right? Like, Damon is dating Simone's little nemesis over here, so Simone could date can date Damon's nemesis and see how you
exactly.
like it. See how you like it. And got New Year's Eve Bay on the side. How about that? How about that?
Yes,
So I'm here for it, but I think that Amara is eventually gonna have a sit down conversation, or Keisha, one of them, and is gonna be like, all right, girl.
I
I
want it
know
to
you
be
trying to.
Nate. I feel like I could take Nate seriously when she giving advice to Simone versus like Keisha because Keisha always barely taking her own advice when it comes to him. But Nate gives such good advice. So
It's
like,
true, but I think that they're going to try to steer Nate clear away from giving the advice this episode because she always gives people advice, and so this is more
hmm,
about exploring who she is as a person. Um, but yeah, it she does give really good advice, but I think they might err on the side of it being Keisha or Amara. Um, and maybe even Damon. Who knows? Because they always gonna find their way back to Simone's little bed, having them deep conversations, sitting and being like, "I just my seeing things with my dad, and I don't know. I'm just trying to prove myself." And one thing on this, I honestly don't think Simone struggled as much as I expected her to in the tennis world last season. So her having these struggles with tennis this season isn't necessarily surprising to me because I feel like she won a lot of matches like right off the bat, right? She was runner up and queen of the court. She won a lot of her matches. It was a surprise at the end of the season when she didn't make top 6. And so I don't know. All I'm saying is I think it's not crazy or out of this world that like she's now starting to have these problems in tennis, because most of her problems with tennis was just like, oh, I need to attend this match, or I need to, impress, almost like impress Thea at the time. But it wasn't it was she was never like, there was nothing ever that she was like, I need to work on my game, because I think it came sort of easy to her in the beginning. But what are your thoughts on that?
I can agree. I agree because like I just agree. Like no notes.
Yeah, he said no notes, no notes. Yeah, so it'll be interesting, and I don't necessarily want them to drag it, but I do, I like that she's starting to have these challenges with her team, because I don't think that we got that last season. And it'll
But
be interesting to yeah, go ahead.
I also think that the coach needs to be impartial. They don't need to be joining
Yes,
in. That's weird.
yes. And that and okay, yes, I'm glad that you said that, because that is the missing piece of the puzzle. We did not The reason why it felt like Simone struggled more than she did maybe in tennis last semester or last season was because Simone did not have a Marcus, like did not have
Hmm.
someone that she could go to that was just like, you're doing a great job. Like she didn't have a Billy. And so because that's not, and we still don't know where Coach Lonnie is. Coach Lonnie is MIA. uh and now with this other coach, I don't remember her name, but with this other coach now, she's just like attacking her and doing all of this stuff, and it's just like, we need Simone to have a true mentor as a coach that can go and tell her that she's done a good job. And that's a role I still think that they need to fill in this show, because when she's going through these struggles, it's not going to seem like they're coming out of nowhere, or that she can never get ahead, or that she's never winning. But it's just like, these are just struggles that you overcome, just like Billy was to Spencer, and just like Marcus is to David
Exactly. And
and
it can't be
JR.
New Year's Eve, babe, because even though he fine, that would be a distraction. She needs
Yeah,
somebody else.
she needs somebody else. She needs somebody else. And it can't be Thea, because they have that little conflict, and Thea's, wishy washy. So we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see. Hopefully they get another coach in there, or a mentor or something. Even if it's Thea's grandmother. Like, I don't know, somebody gotta give it. So yeah, those are our predictions. Any last thoughts on that?
no, I thought it was a pretty good episode, and I can't wait to see what they do next week, especially with Nate's story, because I want to see who her bae is.
Yes, 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 yes. Same here. Same here. But yeah, thanks for being on. It's always a good time talking to you. Always a good time. Thanks for listening to Film Study, an All American podcast, an All American Universe podcast. Stay tuned for the next episode.